Hey everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Howdy.
Hey,
Hello.
so this is a completely different podcast we're doing today. We're going to talk about relationships, any kind of advice we can give people, about love, women, self-confidence, all this other stuff,
Demons.
Well, no demons tonight,
Not tonight.
man. Not tonight, man. We're just here, three guys talking about like relationships and love like that,
Yeah.
So whenever anybody wants to start,
I'm sick, so my voice is gonna sound different.
Okay. Remember, no demonic stuff tonight. It's a full moon, but they're not out yet.
Talk about love, right?
Talk about love.
What is love?
No, just like remember what we were talking. We were seeing a couple of videos of
On YouTube?
Cowboy videos.
No, a couple of videos. Sorry, not cowboys. Sorry. Yes, cowboys.
Where's this going?
We were seeing a couple of YouTube videos about
Relationship
advice. We're just going to give our thoughts.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yes.
Well, I think there's a lot of hurt people out there.
Are you
I
one of
think
those hurt
there's
people?
Lee? I mean, some would say yes. I mean, it's tough to admit, but it is a tough world out there looking for love. It's a thing that is hard to describe, yet so many people want it.
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of people spend their whole life looking for it.
I've never been a big fan of love.
No.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like we're so obsessed with the feeling. The neurochemical reactions that are happening. The physiological reactions happening in your brain, But to me, love is deeper than just the physical, good feeling. Love is like when you're sick in a hospital, who's going to take you,
Yeah.
Or love is like pain, To me, love is joy, but love is also the hardships, And so that's like, it shouldn't just only be hardships either. That's an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
But I think definitely, as a society, we romanticize like the dude being romantic, and I don't know. I feel like love is so much more than that. Love is it's like taking somebody late at night to work, even though they gotta wake up early in the morning.
Yeah. There's different kinds of love. Yeah, just doesn't have to be the romantic kind.
No, not at all.
Would you like to hear Wikipedia's take on love?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Okay. Love encompasses a range of strong and positive emotional and mental states, from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, to the simplest pleasure. An example of this range of meanings is that the love of a mother differs from the love of a spouse, which differs from the love of food. Most commonly, love refers to a feeling of strong attraction and emotional attachment.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
Love is also considered to be a virtue, representing human kindness, compassion, and affection as the unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another.
What do you think that means?
It may also describe compassionate and affectionate action towards other humans, oneself, or animals. So love is basically encompassing all these types of things that basically come up to mean goodness.
I do think there's a mystical aspect to love too. Like, you ever tried food that's made with love? You're like, God, this is so good, That way, but then you should go somewhere where, remember I went to Six Flags, and I think it's called Johnny Rockets, and I got a burger that cost me $12. It was bacon and cheese and all the meat and stuff. And in my head, I was like, this shit's gonna be bomb. I bit it and it tastes horrible. It tastes meaty, but it's I can't explain it. It was missing love, But my mom, when she cooks from her heart,
Mm-hmm.
So it's I know she puts a lot of love and effort into it. So for me, it's yeah, she might make rice, but that rice is better than that burger that I bought, So
Yeah.
that's also an interesting aspect of love, the mystical quality of it. You could manifest itself even in food, in music too, and those. Yeah. You ever heard a song that makes you cry?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Yeah. That's was cool too.
Have you ever cried listening to the songs?
Hell no,
you know?
man.
No, seriously?
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
I think
it's-
maybe, yeah. I think who hasn't, you know?
Yeah, it's a normal thing.
You ever cry like a little baby and ball in a corner?
Well, not like that, but yeah, you know. I do it every night.
Maybe once. Last night.
I do it every night, yeah. But what about? So we were watching videos from Alpha Male Strategies. Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Alpha Male. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies.
It's
Keep,
cool.
keep doing the good videos, dude. So so he has a lot of good knowledge, you know, that he
Knowledge, yeah.
good knowledge, you know, that he gives out, you know, and I heard some of his. You know, like watching the video, I was like, man. So this is what was going wrong with. So this was what was going
Doing
wrong,
wrong
you know.
all these years,
What was doing wrong all these years, you know. Like
Yeah.
you know, you can't. How do you say it? Like you can't be too friendly with the chick nowadays, man. Because they're gonna.
think so?
Yeah. You can't be too friendly. You can't be like, or else they're gonna start thinking of you just instead of thinking of you as a dude or potential, you know, love interest. They think of you as a you know, as a girl. Friend.
As somebody that
Friend.
less than ideal.
Yeah.
Not a
who,
partner, right?
Yeah, not a partner. Yeah.
Someone isn't worthy of siring children.
Yeah.
Someone who they don't to procreate with. Yes. No, yeah, you know that's the interesting thing about this day and age. It's there's a lot of mixed signals going on.
There is, you know, just clear it up from the front. Like, hey, how do you feel? Okay, cool, bye, or cool, let's do it. you know?
Yeah.
But it's not that easy.
Yeah, but love is
Like,
tricky these days.
Like I feel like if you're trying to get something out of it, like if you're meeting somebody and you're trying to, you know, like actually try to form a relationship, then it's not okay to just, you know, be too there with that chick and be too friendly with her, you know. Like if you're trying to, you know, form a relationship, but if you're just trying to have a friend, then it's okay, you know, because it doesn't really matter where it goes, you know.
Yeah,
but if you're trying to take it somewhere, then you know, you just can't be like that, you know. Because I'm like, a lot of people will tell you the same thing too. And not just us, all of us, you know, other people, if you ask them for some kind of advice, they're going to tell you, you know, you can't be too reliable to these chicks, you know, especially if you're trying to get somewhere with them.
It's hard. I mean, just be yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Take it one day at a time. If you feel like you're out of your center, you know, whatever that is, then don't be something you're not, you know?
Yeah.
And,
It's a dance. It's a
it really is,
playful
yeah.
dance. You know, you kind of you want to.
That's how we were born into this world, right? Each one, single one of us.
You know, like what he said in one of the video we just saw was like, you know, you gotta learn how to, you know, be alone, do stuff by alone. And it's funny because that's one thing I always forget about. You know, it's just kind of like, and then like how he's always talking about, he's like, oh, you know what, you rely on having a girlfriend all the time, you know, to you know, to like actually, you know, how would you say it, like make your life seem like it's, you know, or make your life feel like it's worth something, you know, and then you take these rejections real hard, and I feel kind of like that's one of my problems too, you know. So that's how I was like, man, what this dude was saying was real.
You know, sometimes I don't agree with the words he chooses, but I do think you'll be a fool to discredit him, you know, all his views, you know.
Yeah.
Just like my opinion, you know, everyone, even people you don't agree with, you could learn from them, you know. And I definitely think he has a lot of insight, you know, into human psyche.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's met chicks and he's been in a relationship.
And he's up front. If you want to be a player, those strategies he's telling you will work, you know. But I also feel like there's a spiritual connection to humanity, you know, not just the physical aspect of our being, you know, but there's a spirit, you know. Like I feel like, and there's different degrees, you know. There's some people very, very sensitive in nature, you know, men and women, you know, who if they were to be very promiscuous, I think that won't be very healthy to their psyche, you know. So be honest to yourself, you know. I definitely don't think nobody should be a pushover either, you know. I feel like sometimes we walk on eggshells, somebody we care about, but it's kind of like, okay, when I play a sport and I am playing against somebody, like my opponent will want me to I don't know. I considered it fun when my opponent is equal to me, you know, or the opposite of me, where we could like both challenge each other, you know. But
Okay.
if my opponent's really weak, you know, I'm not saying about like a relationship right now. I'm
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
In general, you know, let's say I'm playing a game of basketball and my opponent's weak and I'm kicking their ass. I'm bored, you know. I want to be challenged, you know. I think maybe
Get weak girlfriend. Check.
What?
Get weak girlfriend. Check.
Get weak up.
Check. We're joking, man. Don't take our stuff too seriously.
Yeah.
Always take every kind of advice you get from anybody
These are opinions,
with a grain of salt, and understand that it's a point of view from somebody else. You know.
Yeah. You could
No.
be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is, he's a good source of, I mean, if you want to take the initiative in like a relationship, I don't know, he seems, he's a,
But the one video you seen, Joey.
I've seen only one.
So let me ask you this.
I mean,
So
I don't know, I mean, we're talking
Sorry.
about love here. I don't know if love is something you could quite put on,
That video.
label him as a guy like.
Oh,
he's
no,
not,
no,
he's
he's
not, like, looking
no,
for
no, no.
love.
But
He's more like
he's giving you
player.
advice. You know,
Right,
he's
right.
he's giving you like an opinion of like what he can do to, you know, actually try to find, you know, actually find it. It improves your chances of finding it.
yeah.
You know, just.
I don't know. If that's his intent. I think
But I really feel like, you know,
you can use it in that way.
Yeah,
if
you can
want
use
to.
it. Yeah, you can use it in that way. But I don't
That
think
is
that.
knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think maybe he doesn't do it in that way. You know,
Right,
he doesn't
right.
use. You know.
It's just another way of approaching.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's a means to an end. I guess.
Because I'm like looking at it, listening to it. I'm just like, you know, dude, this is what I've been doing wrong all this time. You know.
Yeah,
It's like no wonder. You know, it's like, you know, like especially like that where he says, you know, girls are gonna see you as very weak. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and you're gonna be like, oh man, so that was it. You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So okay, so let me ask you guys this. So let's just say a pretty girl is sitting right next to you, you know, and you want to talk to her. How would you go up to her and talk to her? What kind of stuff would you guys say?
What would I say to
Yeah,
her?
like you know.
Very simple. You know, introduce myself
Okay.
and see where she's at. You know, feel the vibe she's giving, and then I don't take it personal. You know, if she's maybe I'm not her type, if she's not like sending me like choosing signals, right?
Yeah.
So I just walk away, and if she is, then I'll I'll stay there and talk to her. You know, and take it from there. You know, and see. Cause also this is my belief. You know, if it's meant for you, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do.
I also
it will happen. You know,
I agree with that. What
the
you
universe
said.
will bring it together.
I agree with everything you said, and I also
Yeah.
want to add, you know, they know where they want to be. You know,
Oh, yeah,
they know
the person knows, right?
they know exactly where they want to go to. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, so it's like if they want to go with you, they already know. Hey, I'm gonna go with this dude for a
From the
bit. you know?
first, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about you,
Oh.
Lee?
Well, if it's just a general
Yeah, just like an you know,
encounter, like nothing specific. I don't know if you see
Like,
a girl that you like.
you're trying to get, you know, you're trying to like. I'm not saying for you to just be straight out and you know, tell her, hey, you know what, you want to do something sometime, but I'm just like you're trying to form a connection, you know. So maybe you can interact a couple more times,
Interactor.
and then maybe you see where it goes. If it goes somewhere where you want it to, or if it doesn't go anywhere.
So we're talking about like first impressions in general encounter. Is
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
I guess just going up to like you see a pretty girl,
Yeah.
you want to go talk to her. How would you?
What I do? Okay.
How would you do it? Yeah.
Okay, so if it was just a regular old day, nothing really to go off of. If I see a girl that I like, I'd walk up to her and I'd say, "Hey, miss, I don't really do this often, but I saw you across the quad, and I don't know, I thought you looked lovely, and I thought I might introduce myself. Hello, I am my name is Inspector Lee, and I like if you could, I'd like your number."
Okay.
Alright,
Don't forget the pepper spray. You always gotta add the pepper spray at the end.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yes, pepper spray.
I'm just kidding. That won't happen to you.
Yeah, that rarely happens.
Barely. Maybe
But
one.
it's something in that general
Yeah, okay.
kind of, thing. You know, if it's just general, like if you're at a I don't know, a store or something, maybe, I don't know, you find something in common. Other than that, I don't know how else. I mean, unless you go to like the club scene or something and just meet people off field like that. I don't know. It's I don't know, I prefer the more casual approach. The club scene it could be chaotic and maybe like there might be mixed. I don't know. It's difficult to say, but it's all about what you want, I guess, out of a relationship or out of an encounter with the person, whether it's a one night stand or looking for something more. You know, it's,
do you think a club would be a good place to meet a girl, like to actually find love, or just to find love at that moment?
More,
like
more like
a hookup.
Yeah.
Do you think the club would be a good place to meet chicks, or like a bar or any kind of place like that? You know,
there's no rules.
There's no rules. Okay.
There are patterns. There's no rules.
Okay, so where do you think a good spot to meet chicks would be at? You know, like
Dog park.
Dog park.
Checkout line.
Check out. Okay. You know, I remember
dungeon.
Library.
a dungeon. I like the last one. I just remember this one time I was at my job and I was a cashier and this guy was talking to this chick, right? Very pretty.
Yeah.
You know, the dude looked like he was successful. So he was talking to her, you know, they were, talking to each other, and then all of a sudden I'm ringing the chick up and she's paying for her stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that guy goes, "Hey, any chance I can get your number?" She goes, "Oh no, sorry." You know, and then it was, like, would you guys be okay with asking somebody out, asking for their number at that moment in time, or would you wait till like she's already done, shaking out her stuff and talk to her outside? Because everybody heard it.
Yeah.
Everybody heard the guy get rejected.
It's okay. That's a part of it. That's...
I know it's a part of it, but would you like basically what I'm trying to say is like, would you guys be okay with that happening? Like if that happened to you, would you be like, okay, no big deal, no big deal, I took the shot, or would you be like, I'm not saying for you to like, be sad. I'm not saying for you like to take it to heart, but I'm just saying kind of like, fuck, I should have done it outside,
No, there's no. I mean, who to know? Maybe you wouldn't have seen her outside.
I mean,
that's true.
There's no.
I just remember the cashier that was, in front of me. He was like rejected.
Oh, wow.
And I just felt really bad because I'm just like, man, this dude is, this dude tried,
Yes.
You should give
all
him
those people and he got rejected. Yeah, well, I don't know. He probably made the girl uncomfortable or something.
But
the guy you said the guy was like well off.
matter.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered. But it looks like they were like having a good conversation.
I'm a street performer, and when I'm performing the street, you get rejected all the time. People walk past you.
That's
you
true.
could be on fire and people will probably give you just a quarter. For me, that taught me to be like, hey, you took the shot. You took the shot in front of people. Nobody knows that guy anymore. That guy probably like, if your mindset's like, hey, I took my shot and then I'm going to move on to the next one, then like, yeah, dude.
Okay.
I think I would do it. And rejection hurts. I think that's. But and I also knew that, hey, at least I took my shot. And what's that one saying? 100% of the shots you don't take, you 100% miss them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about that because I remember so many times I always try to find a way, like back then when I used to one of the things I hate being rejected, and I also hate being rejected and having an audience. You know what I mean? Like people.
You want to be rejected in privacy?
Yeah, right. You're like,
what about
in a dungeon?
What about the people that get rejected when they get married and ask propose in a stadium?
That's true. Yeah. Like you become a fucking YouTube. I'm telling you, somebody could record you because nowadays people record everybody for everything. Picking your nose. Running a red light, all these crazy shit.
Yeah.
So imagine you're asking out a girl and the guy's recording you, and then all of a sudden like she goes, "No, sorry."
That's okay.
Like,
dude, I've learned that I love taking that risk. To me it's like, hey, it's exciting. The thrill of the unknown. You never know what's gonna happen, and if the person's digging you, then hey, you have a shot, and they're not. Yeah. Like, all you're really asking is for like maybe a date. That's nothing serious, Getting to know that person, and I think if you're confident and if you're confident in yourself, the reaction is not tied to your emotions are not just tied to that reaction. You're like, okay, you move on. She wasn't for me. I wasn't her type, right?
Yeah, just exactly what he said. Okay, so
I know.
Do you think by you asking, by you trying to, you want me to open it?
Could we take a commercial break?
Yeah, okay. Commercial break. Please.